Hey everybody, it's Shooter FPV, and in this video I'm going to go over a little project I've been doing with a frame. It's actually a slammed Phreakstyle frame. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually working with hydro dipping. If you don't know what that is, it's a way of painting with water, not like watercolors or whatever like you did in third grade or second grade, but there's film that it's treated with chemicals, and what you do is you roll it out. And I mean, I'm not going to go into total detail. There's plenty of videos online that shows you how to hydro dip, but in case you just don't know what it is, you put the film on top of the water, take your part, dip it in, kind of slowly, and what it does is it paints it on here. As you can see, this is the main plate, but I'll show you that in more detail on the bench. But I haven't seen a lot of videos out there about hydro dipping, especially carbon fiber. So I'm not going to, I'm just going to kind of go over what I did in case somebody else wants to do it. I know a lot of people are, seemed like they were interested online. So I just figured I'd try to show you what I did. Maybe, you know something better. Don't take this as law. If anybody has anything that they think will work better, let me know in the comments. What I'll also do is I will leave a link to all of the products that I use, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I use products from a company called One Hit Wonder. They had really good reviews online, and I did research for a long time. I mean, over the summer, I was hoping it would be a summer project, but it's going to end up turning into a fall project. There's just way too much out there to digest, so I took my time. But so yeah, the company I used was One Hit Wonder. What I did was I used their primer. They have primer that has a color in it, so the green you see is actually the primer, and then the hydro dip is actually transparent. So I mean, I could have done purple, I could have done red, I could have done yellow, whatever, but I just decided to do green. So the primer comes in different colors. Then they also have the activator. You have to spray activator on the film for it to stick to your part. And then there's also clear coat, and I'll show you that when we get to the bench. The clear coat I have isn't really super clear or as clear as I wanted. They have another one, but it's you have to like activate it. You have to hit a button on there or something, and it's only good for 4 hours. Once you after 4 hours, you just can't use it anymore. It's got some kind of agent in it, I guess, that kind of mixes everything together. And I mean, it's super like crystal glass clear, but I can't paint this within 4 hours. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So so what we'll do is we'll go to the bench. I'm just going to show you quickly, what I did to get this all together. And I'm still actually not done with it yet, but I wanted to do something before I actually got it totally together. So let's go to the bench. I'll show you the parts, show you what I have. All right, so I'm going to go over now just kind of what I did to get this all together. Hopefully I can inspire somebody to do it, and maybe even get better ideas and things like that. But first of all, the prep. What you got to do is for anything that you want to hydro dip, you got to sand it down. So what I did was I have just some basic sheets of 100 grit sandpaper, and I just sanded down the carbon fiber. Just be careful, because when you do that, it causes a lot of dust. So either do it outside, wear a mask if you have to, but yeah, it causes a lot of dust and it makes a mess. But you don't have to sand it too much, just enough to scuff it up. So I had done that before I did all these parts. And also what I did was, you can see the tape on the arms here. What I actually did was, and actually you can see it on the bottom plate here, what I did was I put this together, and where the arms meet the frame, I'm not going to paint them or do anything to them, because I want to make sure that when you put this, like, see, this is top left, so it actually goes here. This is top right. So you kind of get what I'm saying. So this part here, I'm going to peel the tape off. Actually, I'm going to do that, probably do it now, because this is kind of as clear as it's going to be, and it's super tacky. I don't know if I even did it right, but you know, my first time. So see how I taped it off so the carbon is there. And what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I put this together so that carbon meets carbon. I don't want to have any, you know, the integrity of the frame suffer because there's, you know, clear coat or paint or whatever. So you can also see right in here. In fact, we can peel that back too, and I will show you, and hopefully it will peel back nice. It's only painter's tape, but you can use, you know, whatever kind of masking tape that you want. I mean, they show online where you can just use the white one and stuff, but painter's tape, it's good enough. It's actually super sticky. It's way stickier than masking tape, so it kind of was a pain to use during the dipping process, but I think I just left a little here. All right, so see, so I left the carbon exposed, so that way when I put everything together, I'm not going to peel these off yet because I still got to do them, and we'll go over why I got this tape on here too. But so now once these are done too, when I peel these off, the carbon will be exposed here, and that way everything's flat. I didn't want anything to get in the way. I mean, you want to make sure that your frame is stable anyway. I was going to do the motors too, but I think that they're going to sit fine. I think that they'll be okay. So again, once I get everything together, it'll be sitting on carbon. And you know, the way to do that was I just put the frame together loosely before I did all of this, and that way I could see like exactly where everything goes. So that's kind of what I did there. So the way that I dip this, like what you got to do is you got to kind of put the you know, whatever you want to dip, you put it in at an angle, and then what you do is you kind of go down with it into the water. But the problem is that it doesn't do both sides. So what they suggest is something called double dipping, and what you do is, I'll show you here. What I did was I'm going to dip this side first, so that way this all gets covered, and then I'll let it sit and do its thing and dry for a bit. And then what I'll do is I will, so that way the side that's blue here that's taped won't get anything, because you might get a little, you know, a little bit of extra, like when you bring it in the water, sometimes it wraps around, but the problem is it doesn't wrap around all the way and all the time. So what I'll do is I'll do this one side, and then once this is dipped and everything, before I even do the clear coat, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to peel this tape off and tape this side and cover what I dipped, and then I'll do the same thing. And that way you do, you know, it's like a back and front. They call it double dipping, but it's like what I did here. I did this one side, I dipped it down, and then because I had the tape here, but I also covered this, and then did the dip this way so that I did both sides. I also did the top cover that way too, the top plate. So, the green is the primer. And like I had mentioned before, you need to prime it no matter what. But One Hit Wonder sells the primer. It's like a primer and sealer and color all in one. So the film I have is transparent, so that's why you can see the green in there. And I kind of thought it was cool. I actually printed up some green TPU for GoPro mount, Crossfire, Immortal T mount, things like that. So it'll all match up pretty good. But the primer is very important. You can pick any color you want. You can do, you know, like I said before, you can do red, green, blue, whatever they have. I just decided to choose green. So then once you prime it, then you can dip it. And once you dip it, then you can put the clear coat on. And it's kind of shiny, but I kind of wished it was a little more shiny. But that 2K clear coat they have is the super shiny stuff. But like I said before, I don't spray that quick. So, and plus it's twice as expensive. So I'm good with this for now. It's a little tacky still. I'm probably not going to build this for another week or so anyway. So hopefully it will, it'll settle down by then. And I got to do the arms anyway. So, but so yeah, that's the process pretty much. I I don't really see a lot of people doing this, or at least documenting it. I did see some pretty cool stuff online in some of the Facebook groups. A guy actually not only dipped some carbon on his frame, but he did the propellers too. So I'm actually thinking of probably doing that. That actually looked pretty cool. You know, what's cooler than having skulls on your propellers, right? I actually have green propellers too, so I don't even have to prime them. Actually, I wonder if you do have to prime them. I'm not even sure. That's a very good question. So if you do, then I might not do them, because I don't want the primer to affect the weight of the props, because you know, if you spray a little more on one side, not the other side, then the prop will, you know, the prop will be unbalanced, and then you get vibrations, and you know, yada yada yada, all the way down. So yeah, that's it, I think. It's still not together yet. It will be together soon. Once I do that, I'll post pictures online and show you how everything goes. But yeah, that's it. It's a fun project. It takes a lot of time, especially dipping. You know, dipping is something you cannot rush. If you do, you end up screwing it up. Like you can see here, some of the skulls look stretched. Compared to like this was like my latest one, because I kind of did some trial and error and I figured it out, and I wasn't gonna re-dip this, and I'd have to sand it and prime it again and all that stuff, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So, but you can kind of see the difference between the skulls, but that's okay. I mean, I can live with it. I might end up doing this again. I actually told people I don't think I was going to, just because of the work involved, but I might do it again. It's kind of fun. So yeah, so that's it for that. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure that I put links to the paint and everything else and the dip that I used for this. And again, if anybody has any comments about, if I could do this easier, or if you do it a different way, let me know. I mean, I'm not good enough to say that this is exactly what you're supposed to do. It's just what I figured out, and if it helps somebody, great. And if anybody knows anything better, please let me know, and it'll be better for me for next time. So, all right, so that's it for that. And as I always say, rip some packs, stay safe, and we will see you next time.